Hey, this is Nick, CEO at IdeaScale, bringing you another episode of Fireside Chats with Chief Innovation Officers. Today's guest is Bala Pediggari, the Chief Innovation Officer for Tata Consultancy Services, where he helps lead the Tech Advisory Services Group. TCS is one of the top 3 consulting services in the world. And for those who don't know in the United States, it's also the sponsor of the New York City Marathon, where you may see their name all the time. Welcome to the show, Bala.
Thank you, Nick.
Perfect. So the first question is a very general one. What does innovation mean for a giant organization like TCS?
So, innovation has got several dimensions, but for a giant company like TCS, innovation is also focusing on proactively on some of the emerging technology space, trying to find out some unique ways to integrate some of the key technology solutions to our client ecosystem. Our focus is primarily inward. We are trying to build that innovation mindsets where every associate from the grassroots level to the top level executive think innovative, act innovative, think and act like an innovative mindset is very much important, so that whatever the technology we try to build or provide has got an innovation element built into it. Whether you take product innovation, process innovation, service innovation, it's all about inculcating the new practices, new thought processes, which we can bring to the customer's table and help them in that entire journey for the adoption. So our thought process is build innovation mindset.
And how do you do that, especially in a large I think TCS is what, like tens of thousands of employees around the world. How do you tell a junior associate sitting in India or the UK that, hey, you can contribute to the innovation of this organization and make a difference? How do you make that mindset or that message credible, I guess?
So there are multiple levels under which we try to operate. One thing is we focus on creating a problem-solving mindset first. The problem-solving mindset entails each individual to participate in hackathons, to participate in ideathons for the specific problem statements. So it could be a business problem statements we give out, or some of the emerging technology areas we go out as a challenges, and we ask them to ideate first. Take the idea, then use the core emerging technologies to implement that idea in a rapid manner. We call it as a rapid leads or rapid labs, and which will help them to build the idea and ensure that the idea is into the execution path using that particular rapid labs approach. And this rapid labs, when I say, you have the full framework of a suite of tools available, and you have an opportunity to build that particular prototype model to prove that your idea can be really executed, so that they are quick, they are very, very innovative, and they're very agile in that approach. At a grassroots level, we implement hackathons and ideathons and rapid labs as an approach. At a mid-level, when you're trying to look at, we try to bring the innovation mindset in the form of looking in conceptualizing and contextualizing to the customer's needs, where these ideas can be translated. You might be doing a jugaad innovation there, but jugaad innovation, when you're trying to take it to the scalable level, you need to have better matured minds. And these minds are responsible for taking these ideas and translating into scalable innovations. That's where we use our scalable innovation frameworks, which will help the people or help the customers in ensuring that ideas are not only meeting the problems, but they are also scalable and agile to meet the dynamic changes what customers intended to see. At the third level, that is the topmost tier, it's about a strategic innovation mindset which we try to build it. That's where we work with some of our analyst firms, some of the academia professors, to understand the new trends which are emerging and how it can be incubated as part of the incubation programs, innovation labs, which can be exercised and taken to the customers. From the external side, what we do is we have pace ports and pace innovation frameworks which are there, where customers might be finding a lot of challenges, forward-looking challenges. And we use that forward-looking challenges as a way to experiment and drive discussions and brainstorming by bringing our innovation lab heads, our co-innovation partners, academia research professors, who will come down to that particular brainstorming sessions to solve the problem. Not only to find the alternative solutions, but also define a roadmap of 90 days where we can build a prototype and prove that how it can be achieved. So you can see that it's a 4-level approach. One is at a grassroots level, building the innovation mindset with a rapid prototyping. And at a mid-level, we look into the scalable innovation frameworks, taking idea into the scalable model. At a top level, we try to take it from the strategic innovation mindset. At a customer level, we take it from the external angle, use our PS Sports as a channel to drive the innovative research frameworks which can be binded together to solve the problem holistically.
So let me ask a follow-up question. You laid out a very thoughtful framework for how innovation affects you at different levels of the organization, internally as well as externally. How long has TCS had a framework like this or an approach like this to innovation? Because you guys have been around, what, 30, 40 years now. You're extremely successful. At what point did the organization say, we need a chief innovation officer, or we need the word innovation as part of our process? Because for the early part of your history, it was very focused on successful delivery of services. And at some point you said, we need to do more than just deliver services. When did that shift? Was that a year ago, 5 years ago, or it was true on day one when TCS was formed?
See, within the TCS, we have several business groups. I work for the technology, software, and services business group.
Mm-hmm.
So my role has been created 2 years ago as a chief innovation officer role at technology advisory services function. We wanted to establish and spearhead the integration of innovation into our advisory practices. My mandate completely revolves around fostering a culture of continuous innovation, both internally and with our external customers, where I play a critical role in involving and identifying the emerging technologies, creating the use cases, translating these use cases into scalable solutions. Additionally, I'm also responsible for driving collaboration with academia, startups, and tech ecosystems to ensure that we are at the forefront of this innovation. My ultimate goal is to build a structured innovation framework that aligns with business objectives with explorative transformative opportunities. So within TCS, if you see, the innovation as such has been practicing right from the ages. I'm not saying that it has been 10 years or 15 years, 20 years. From the inception of TCS, innovation is part of the culture. But
So
in
you're
order
saying
to
40
blend,
years, and sorry to interrupt. So TCS has been around again like 30, 40 years and has just grown consistently for that time, right? Starting and been
yes.
extraordinarily successful. So you're saying that innovation was really part of the process from day one for the last 30 or 40 years. And this is not me doubting, but
Absolutely.
rather it's probably why you guys are so successful and didn't stagnate the way many
The,
other, organizations did. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
it's
sorry.
part of 30, 40 years, but you might be seeing this kind of a role emerge. Like if you see today, chief AI officer, chief digital officer, chief data officer, chief innovation officer, these are the new roles which has been curated because the kind of a growth we have seen for 6 lakh people we are currently, we need
Wait,
specific
did you say
group
you have
which is
6
focusing.
lakh people right now?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
just to
right now,
translate for a
over 6
Western audience,
lakhs,
that's 600,000 employees.
600,000. So yeah. So for the West audience, it is 600,000 people within TCS currently. So what does it mean is you need to have a real growth, which we need to really look at. And in order to look into the growth, look into the kind of a emerging technology space, Chief Innovation Officer will be responsible for driving that particular change.
Okay, let me jump kind of to the external perspectives. Particularly in technology, you're seeing a lot of innovation happening, right? Not just in generative AI, you just see new technologies come out every year, new frameworks, new software programming languages, new tools. How receptive are your customers or clients to new forms of technological innovation? When you come to them with a new technology or a new approach or a new framework, how receptive are they to that new technology or new approach versus them just wanting to take the existing process and do it better? Existing process or existing technology.
So basically, whenever the new technology comes in, there are some leaders in the customer side who wanted to really experimental and drive the change. And they are very, very forward looking. I see that kind of a leaders who are very, very open enough to discuss this particular new technologies. Let's say I wanted to discuss on generative AI and agentic AI. Today, there are customers who are embracing because there is a trend people are trying to talk about. But there are also laggards who just wanted to watch and follow what others are trying to do. They are here to validate and get some outside in perspectives. So we see a blend of customers in both the segments. Probably you can see a 20% who are leaders, 80% who are the followers. So for the leaders, we follow an approach where we can take the proactive innovation and we try to give them the view what it can do for the future. And today we are focusing on future of technology and future of business, and making the organizations to be future ready for such kind of leaders. But for the people who wanted to watch, follow based on the results, success stories of others, we try to bring that experiences, share that experiences, relay that experiences, so that they understand the value of that, and try to curate some of the uh, proof of concepts initially. Then they start embedding into their main engagements. But that would take their cycle time of 2 years, 3 years before they catch up on the things. While leaders take the advantage of using this particular technology and riding fast.
If you take 2 or 3 years to before you catch up on a new technology, new approach, new methodology, new business process, do you still get the benefits of that, or is it too late for you to get the benefits of that new innovation?
Technology maturity takes time. To be very honest, if you see generative AI, probably you might have seen that the hot area. That's the reason I'm trying to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
What you see, the GPT models which are evolving, people who embarked on that particular journey are able to apply that particular solutions, build new products, and able to gain the market share. But maturity of the models keeps on increasing over the period of time based on the consistency under which you are trying to operate. And so some people, it's a kind of a launch pad what you want to take. So if you say that I want to start from the scratch, you may see it as a time period, but that experience really helps you. But some people take the launch pad at a some different level, so they are going to get the benefits. So even if you're trying to start the journey a little late, you are using the lessons learned, challenges what others have faced, and you don't try to repeat it. But if you're not learning from that particular challenges or lessons, then you may need to work from the back. Those kind of people will face the challenges and they are not get the benefits. But people are able to absorb the challenges, use the lessons learned, they are going to get the benefits immediately, because they are not going through the hard path, they are getting the easy path.
We at our company, we were very aggressive adopters of generative AI for marketing as well as coding. And yes, there were challenges because we adopted it before the technologies were mature. But you're right, we gained market share because we were just aggressive in it. We made some mistakes along the way, but we learned from it, we hope. So let me jump kind of to my favorite question, right? Innovation is a fancy word. Everyone likes using it. Everyone likes saying they're innovative. You'll never find a company or organization that doesn't say they're innovative. But it's often a buzzword. How do you measure innovation? And specifically, I mean, if you think, someone has the title chief marketing officer, chief financial officer, chief operating officer, there's some metrics, right? Like there's profitability margins or ROI on marketing or some number that their boss asks them about. How do you measure innovation, or how does your boss or your organization measure if you've been successful?
No, every organization will have their own way of measuring it, but in general, I'll tell you. So specifically, if you're trying to take innovation, is measured using a blend of quantitative and qualitative metrics. So we look at the number of innovative solutions conceptualized and deployed. So that impact of the customer outcomes and the adoption rate of new practices or technologies are taken into account. So success is also gauged through our innovation index or the customer feedback or the business impact and the tangible value what we are able to deliver through our innovative solutions. Internally, we assess the innovation culture by tracking employee participation in innovation programs. So collaborations with external partners and the development of intellectual properties like patents, trademarks, or whatever the solutions you are trying to build upon it. So it's measured in different forms. Now, basically, if you are trying to make it much more tangible, no? Business growth, what you are achieving through innovation, what is the pipeline you are able to create through the innovation, what is the overall innovation led proposals you have delivered to the key customers. And these are some of the KPIs which we try to track. And beyond that, through the innovation, we also look from the operational metrics. It means you are able to achieve any efficiency and productivity in customer operations through some of these key emerging technology initiatives, and how you are able to utilize your current ecosystem to build that brand positioning and ecosystem influence, so that you're participating in the media or analysts mentions. All these things plays a very important role. And coming to the measuring the innovation impact, we have a framework which uses innovation maturity models, where we'll use that as a channel to define the innovation maturity within the customer segment or within the unit. We measure it in an account level, at a
This is
unit
externally
level,
facing.
at a business
Sorry,
group level, at a company level.
just to clarify, this is a framework that you use to measure the innovation maturity of your clients or internally of your business units?
Internally.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And internally, and so that we know what we are trying to do, and so we can benchmark it and try to continuously improve upon that. And beyond that, we also focus on innovation lifeline survey, where we try to interview our customer to understand and get their feedback, whether this innovation is helping him in this journey or not, or is there anything specific they want to see from our end. So that feedback also helps us to internally relay it and improve on our practices.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead to my last question, and it's kind of a broad, open ended question, which is what technology innovation or process innovation do you think is hot right now that will actually make a difference to people and is not just buzzwords or hype?
Oh, this is a very broad question. So
Exactly. I
if
told you
we
it
are
was very
trying,
broad. Right. I've heard answers
so
from genomic AI to agentic AI to one person actually talked about distributed education as a major trend or process change. So it's very open ended. What is the technology that's actually making a difference and is not just hype? It doesn't have to be technology, process, social change.
so let me first touch upon the technology innovation area, then I'll come to the process innovation area. So today, if you're trying to look from the overall industry segment, so we need to really look at focusing on automation, intelligence, personalizations with compliance and security. These are the key elements which are driven through the autonomous AI agents. That's where you see generative AI, agentic AI coming into the existence. So today, many organizations focusing on building the AI agents for their business operations and co-pilots for their engineering support and sales teams. Similarly, personalized products and service innovations are getting done, and AI-driven knowledge workflows and enterprise search powered through the some of the Gen AI-based search engines which are readily available are getting embedded. And we are also seeing a trend within the technology innovation, agentic AI for test automation and quality engineering. So embracing such practices and leveraging some of the co-pilots, code assistants as part of your development can really help you to accelerate your productivity and efficiency. The second important future is all about future of data. If you're trying to look at technology, always I would say that now you start focusing on future of AI, future of data, future of security. These are the technology areas what you need to really look at. Today, I see future of data will play a very important role because data as a service proposition is becoming a very important element. It's no longer where we see have the data we need to really look at, but data need to be also visualized in the form of how can I uh, monetize my data and commercialize my data. So that will be more inspirational path what you need to really look at. So working with your customers to unlock future of data can play a very important role, and AI powered data ecosystems for the decision and reasoning intelligence will be much more stronger. That's where I say that building and moving from decision designs to the creating the decision environments will play a very important role. That's where you need to come out with the intelligent choice architectures which can help you to create data fabrics for the hyper personalizations and allow autonomous AI agents to take choices and make the decisions within that environment. The third important technology innovations where I see is about sustainability, because today every organization is bound to keep zero carbon footprint, but there is also another element called green software practices. We have seen secure coding practices, but now green software practices are coming into the existence, where we are looking at employing and choosing the algorithms which are much more proficient and efficient in executing and reducing the uh, carbon footprint as much as possible. So sustainable data infrastructures where we promote green software, green data by leveraging the edge AI processing and data lifecycle optimization. These are some of the observed technology innovations which are happening. The fourth important area where I see prominent is adoption of multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, industry cloud, particularly. So where creating a future-proof data centers where we are not only looking at data centers or the clouds which are only catering to the infrastructure, but they are catering to the regulations and compliance of the industry segments. That's where the multi-cloud or industry cloud strategies are playing a very critical role in that entire journey. Fifth important area I want to touch upon is today there is a lot of reimagination which is happening on the future of contact center and future of service desk. So where how we are going to build the agentless contact center, how we are going to build the service desk operations, which is much more optimized, much more intelligent, where your internal employees will be able to improve their own productivity. That is the things. Last but not the least is the quantum. When you try to do the technology innovation, probably it's too early for you to look and experiment with, but intent is what you need to say is we need to be ready for the Y2Q problem. We have seen Y2K in 2000s. Y2Q is about year to quantum, where you want to future proof your cybersecurity ecosystem to a great level.
So I love the fact
And
that you said quantum, especially. My background is in theoretical physics, specifically quantum physics. So, I've been looking at some of these services that are coming out. Like Cloudflare created last year? They launched a quantum-proof security deployment. So, yes, I agree with. I love that you said that. It's probably not an issue today, but sometime between now and the next 10 years, quantum will be a real thing, and almost all security frameworks break down unless you've future-proofed
yeah,
against
that's
quantum.
that's the reason. Year to quantum is something which is coming up. You need to be ready with it.
Yeah, and if
Y2Q.
if you're not prepared, your systems are totally hackable, right? Somebody can hack them with
Correct.
very simple
Correct.
code and algorithms that are publicly available. Perfect. That's my last question for you. Is there anything you'd like to add as we wrap up this episode?
So the only thing which I wanted to tell is the students or the entrepreneurs or startups who are coming up, carrying an innovation mindset is very, very critical and important. That will be helping you to be understanding the gamut of transformation in the technologies, and it will also help you to prepare yourself for the future. Being future ready is one dimension, but continuously innovating both from the product, process, service is very, very critical for the change. And you should be ready to accept the new technologies, embrace the new technologies. And as long as you carry that kind of a mindset, you're going to change the world. And you will be the one of the change maker. And in fact, within TCS also, we want every associate to be a change maker for the future for their customers. With that mindset, we can transform customers' outlook and create a customer delight in a very interaction and transaction what we do.
Perfect. Thank you again for joining us, Bala, Chief Innovation Officer at the Tech Advisory Services Group in Tata Consultancy Services. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.